Hello, I am your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor, Latricia Booker, here with Kingdom Business, where we are empowered, where we heal, we get delivered, and we get free. We know who we are. We elevate our minds and our spirits and raise and expand our consciousness. So ultimately walk in our true divine purpose and power, and that is the truth of who God has created us to be. Kingdom people, we are history makers, we are world changers, we are dream successors, we are wealth generators, we are manifestors, we are curse breakers, and we most definitely are transformers, more than meets the eye. Yeah, kingdom people, we are. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for viewing my videos. Thank you for all the likes, subscribes, shares, for all your comments and feedback, for all your financial contributions to my channel, for all the seeds that you sow into me and my ministry. Kingdom people, I thank you all so very much. Thank you, kingdom people. And so, kingdom people, you already know what I'm here to do, and if you don't know, then now you know. I am here to drop this, beat this, word this message. Yeah. So, kingdom people, I am the chain breaker, and you are chain breakers too. Are y'all ready to break these chains, kingdom people? Let's go. Kingdom people, listen. First, I want to say that, you know, as I'm going on recording this video, I don't even know how to explain what this is that I'm feeling, but it goes hand in hand with the message that God gave me this morning. He been giving me this, but he moved on me to speak on this morning. He said he is separating the wheat from the tare. God is separating the wheat from the tare. And so I did a video yesterday called Your Real is Rare. And in that video, I kind of shared some things that I had been experiencing, some things that God had been revealing, had recently over the weekend, revealed to me full blown, I'll say, concerning a family member in particular. You know, it's a few of them, but one, he just really made me look at it for what it is and stop looking past it, because I've done a lot of looking past, not in denial of what it was, but just not taking it to heart or making it an issue until God said this is a problem, this is an issue. And it all revolves around separating the wheat from the tare, because that's what God is doing. And so, kingdom people, I just want you all to know that God is separating the wheat from the tare. And I've been getting emails, I read in the comments, and I see you know, so many of you all are experiencing the same similar things, which is why has a lot to do with why I'm sure that God has me to speak on these things. And so this morning, in prayer and my quiet time, doing my daily devotion, God was just speaking to me about how, you know, he has his people speaking out on these things. You know, for some time we weren't talking about it. You know, it was a learning time for us. It was a training time for us. God was molding us, but now he's causing us to speak out, and I'm hearing expose these things, because right now, kingdom people, God is separating the wheat from the tare. And I can remember, I was reminded this morning of a friend of mine, a young lady who I was friends with some time ago, and she used to always say it's exposing time. And you know, she would call people out on stuff, and you know, that's where God had her. But at the time, she would say it constantly like it's exposing time, but God wasn't moving me in that way. Even when I seen certain things, he didn't have me speaking on them or calling people out or saying anything about them. And even where he did have me doing that, you know, it was very minimal. And those people who he had me do it, not all of them, and I can't say that, but several of them, and these are people that I don't no longer deal with, they were not receptive to what God was moving me to share with them. And what was happening is, many times God will use his people. He will use you to help correct others. In other words, he will use you to help make them better. But the problem was, because, you know, we have to improve things. We have to acknowledge what it is so we can do something about it. Some people don't care to acknowledge their issues. And what's been real heavy lately is God been saying that they haven't healed. They won't heal. Some people haven't healed and they won't. And so, again, when God uses you to correct people or just point things out to them, you know, sometimes, you know, they can be, you know, combative because of it and take it as, you know, they take it in a way where that's not how you intend for it to be. And in fact, God actually is using you to help them. And I'm saying, and then they, like I said, they take it to do the wrong thing with it. And so it's going back to what, you know, the message was yesterday. I'm hearing you are the real MVP again, because kingdom people, God will send you and use you to help these people. Sometimes they are older than you. No, I don't personally make it a habit of pointing out things to my elders. I don't. However, God said the way you live your life, the way you handle yourself, the way you operate is a teacher to them. Unfortunately, them ones in particular that have, you know, been a problem and tried to keep us bound, or bind us, should I say, have us stuck and not moving forward in the things of God. These ones, God is saying that we were actually teaching them, but they were not able to receive. They didn't do the healing. They didn't do the work, and they watched you do it, which is why they were doing all of the things that they were doing to stop you and block you, because they were not doing that. And so the fact that those people were trying to do all those things to you, block you, stop you, keep you from moving forward, playing mind games, trying to drop seeds of doubt, all of that, you know, those again were attempts to keep you from moving forward. But God said that that's also an indication that they haven't healed. They haven't healed. They were not healing. Otherwise, they would not have continued with this behavior. In all of that, kingdom people, you have healed. You have done the work. You're still working through things. This is what you do. And they watched you do it while simultaneously trying to stop you from doing it, kingdom people. And right now, God is saying he is separating the wheat from the tare. That's what's happening, kingdom people. And so, you know, the scripture where it speaks about separating the wheat from the tare is Matthew 13:24-30. I'm not going to read those scriptures, but it does talk about the sower sowing seeds, the crops growing up together. The farmer, the sower says, you want to wheat and the tare come up? He said they're going to come up together. And he asks if he should, you know, what should he do with the tare? And the answer was to gather them in thistles and burn them, and to gather the wheat and gather it in the barn. And the wheat gathered in the barn represents God's people, his kingdom people, being separated, being called out and made to shine and move forth in the things of God, establishing, building the kingdom. And so God is separating the wheat from the tare. So you kingdom people, you are the wheat and they are the tare. And again, the reason why God is exposing and causing us to speak on these things and separate us, he's separating us from these individuals, these people, places, things, it's all kind of stuff, is because he's separating the wheat from the tare. We're not all the same. And God was even giving me this morning how some of these ones look at you in a certain way and they just don't get it. And it's because God is saying, because they're not in the same realm as you. They don't understand. They have eyes but can't see. They have ears and can't hear. They can't understand the things of the spirit. And I'm just hearing, even if they can quote scriptures, even if they teach the Bible, can explain it, they have not eyes that can see. They have not ears that can hear. If they did, they would not have been doing the things that they were doing, trying to stop, block, manipulate, operating in that demonic behavior. They would not be doing it. And I'm hearing furthermore, because there are some that are trying to say, you're the one, you're tripping, you're whatever. even that is an indication that they operate in that demonic spirit, because they know. They may not be able to understand where you're at, and they can't see what you can see because they're not where you are. But they know that they are operating in demonic behavior, and the fact that they continue to try to act like it's not them and it's you, try to pass it off as, like you tripping. I just heard God say, I've been hearing this morning. He say, let God deal with them. God said, let him deal with them, because they're out of line, they're out of order, they just continuing to go to continuously going. And I'm just hearing that again, they have not healed. They are not healing, and you are. And so I don't know why. I'm finna get out of here, but I'm just gonna say this. I don't know why. I want to say they think continuous in this behavior is the way to go, but God said that's how it is when, you know, you're controlled by a demonic entities. That's kind of how it is. You know, it's like a wheel that can't stop, caught up in a cycle. And then I'm hearing too, the devil don't let you go that easy, especially when you've been letting them use you all this time. That's part of our kingdom people. When we break free, it's astounding because it's not easy. The devil don't let us go that easy either. We have to fight the devil off. I'm reminded of a loved one who, it's funny how this is coming up, but a loved one of mine who I haven't talked to for a while was attacking me at one point real bad. But to everybody else, they did it to me some, but they was like going off about me to other people. And people were wondering what is going on. And they were thinking we were into it. And it's like I hadn't even been talking to this person in that way. But they were like battling with me. And some of the things that they were saying, little pieces and bits that I did hear and caught, listen to, because they would leave messages and stuff to different people. Send out these group messages. And it was interesting because I'm just like, what is going on? Because I knew what they were saying was not true. And I can remember a relative years ago mentioned to me concerning this person. It was some years ago. I had just kind of mentioned some things back then that were being said. And this person told me that this is their perspective. And I get when you have your own perspective, we all look through different lenses. I get that. But when this person said that, I said I thought that was interesting simply because to have a certain perspective is not the same as completely lying about a situation. And I knew that this person was just flat out lying about some things. But the person who said that, that's their perspective, come to find out is one of the people that were doing all this crazy behavior towards me all along. In fact, that was one of them. You know, that whole thing of trying to make you think you tripping, just playing games. It's just all a mind game. And you know, at the time, I didn't realize that, even though I thought it was off. Like, that don't make sense. Never said that to this person. It's a whole lot I never pointed out to this person. But they were saying, and my thing was when they said it's their perspective, I ain't say this, but I thought this, but it's a lie. How can you lie and say, how can a person lie and say that's their perspective? But they're lying about certain things. The point is that later on in life, like I said, later on down the line, maybe a few years ago to up to even a year ago or so, this person who would just be leaving the messages going off about me, it was interesting because some things, like I said, they were saying, again, were not true. But they were trying to make me look bad to other people. And this is a person who I wouldn't want anybody to be going through this or be in this way, but because of who they are to me, it was a little disturbing. But at the same time, I understood it because God told me some time ago that these things were going to happen. I didn't know what they meant or what they looked like, but because of who I am, and even how the devil will try to use your loved ones to come against you, it started to play out, and it was playing out. And so this person, what I'm getting to is, this person would like turn everything around on me and say I was doing really what they were doing. Now, again, I never addressed it in that kind of a way. First of all, because of who they are to me, I'm not going there. I just was aware that the devil had them. That's what I'm getting to. The devil had them. And what I would do is pray. And I keep this person lifted up in prayer. You know, I keep them before God, and this person will come out. Again, because of who they are to me, I actually have spiritual authority over them. Actually, I do. And not just that, even though they have their own free will, I'm sure that they will come out in God's time and when it's time, because God already said so. I believe it. That's it. So what was happening is this. This person said one day in one of their messages when they were going off about me, they said something like this, said something about a demon. Said something about to the effect of me being a demon. And then they corrected themselves and said, well, I'm not saying she a demon, but it's one attached to her. And I thought that was interesting, because what happened was, I'm going to say this first. The behavior that I seen in this person, I was familiar with, because I had done it. I had done it before, but I know when I done it and where I was off, and I knew when I would be tripping like that, that was the devil messing with me. Now, what was interesting about what this person said was this. I said, they said she's not a demon, but it's a demon attached to her. And around the time that this person said that, demons were trying to attach themselves to me. And I'm talking about all the way from people operating in that spirit, trying to attach them demonic spirits against me, trying to impose themselves on me, saying stuff to me, but just in the spirit realm, period. Demonic entities. They were. Now, there's one other loved one of mine who I talk to on a regular basis. I would be acting a lot of this craziness out with them at the time. And I shared with this person, I had to, because God moved on me to say something. I had to share with this person the erratic behavior they were seeing was me fighting off demons trying to attach themselves to me. And it looked a little erratic. So, I'm saying all that to say that it's not easy. I know it when I see it with someone else, when a devil is like messing with them, disturbing them, and have them tripping on you, you know, falsely. But I also know, like I said, I've experienced it. And I know when I'm tripping, and that ain't what it is, because God, now in these cases, when God is pointing out these people, who they are, what they are, it is what it is. But they'll try to tell you or tell others she tripping. She don't know what she's talking about, because there is a such thing that exists, like I just described. But we ain't tripping, kingdom people. But I can acknowledge that I have had that, and I knew that that's what was going on. Again, I was trying to fight. I fought off demonic entities. In other words, I would not let them penetrate me. I would not let them pierce me. But when you're in the middle of fighting it, people around, if you engage them and dealing with them, they will get not caught up in it, but they will experience you going through this. I experienced that with the loved one that I'm speaking of. That's what was going on with them. Those was entities attacking that person to come against me. This is what I'm getting to. It's not easy. It's not easy. I say this all the time. This walk is not for the faint of heart. Healing is work. Everybody don't want to heal, because that's what that means. You have to face yourself. You got to be honest. You got to go to God and surrender. You got to allow him to do the work, and you have to keep with it. Too many people want quick fixes. Too many people just want everything to be peaches and cream. That's not how it is. That's not the world we live in. That's not the way God set it up. Let me tell you why. Because if we had it all, everything, and we was just good, we wouldn't need God for nothing. We wouldn't be dependent on him. And God wants us to be dependent on him. He wants to be our God, because he is, if we let him be. But these ones were trying to be our God by pushing us down and trying to keep us from being the God, from allowing us to let the God in us be what it is in us. I'm hearing, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. They were trying to push that down so they could feel better about themselves and their lack of healing and their lack of rising into who God created them to be. Okay, just had to hit on that. So going back to, God is separating the wheat from the tare. God says to allow him to invade your life more and more. God is saying continuing to do that. But God is also saying that's what you have done. That's exactly what you have done. Again, in the midst of why they were trying to push you down, keep you bound, play games, trick you, plant seeds of doubt, you continue to let him invade your life more and more. And God is saying continue to do just that. Because again, he's separating you out. And he's calling you forth to shine for his purpose, for his kingdom, for his glory. He has anointed you. He has raised you up for such a time as this, kingdom people. And that's why these ones are being exposed. That's why he's revealing who and what they are. Now, kingdom people, 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, this means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone. A new life has begun. Kingdom people, since you've been in Christ Jesus, you've been getting newer and newer and newer and newer. Kingdom people, you are a new creature. Your new life had begun when you gave your life to Christ. It continues to do that. God continues to renew your life, because you are a new creature in him. Kingdom people, God is separating the wheat from the tare. Trust and believe the tare see this happening, which again is why they keep with their debauchery. They too know the wheat is being separated from the tare. But what's happening, kingdom people, is that God is literally separating you. He's gathering you wheat in the barn for his purpose, for his kingdom, for his glory. Those thistles, those tares, the thistles of Tare, he said burn them. Read Matthew 13:24-30. Scriptures say he said burn them. Now, I ain't going to go too much into that. But he's basically saying that them ones are being burnt. Which goes back to why he say, like what he gave me this morning, he dealing with them. That's what God gave me. He dealing with them. Let him deal with them. That's what he kept giving me to share. Let God deal with them. Don't you dare. To be honest, I personally don't care to. I really don't have anything to say to these kind of people. Not even in a trip way or bother. It's just, it is what it is. They are who they are. They are who they are. You just accept it. I just told a client, the faster you can accept this, what it is, the faster you can keep it moving. Accept what it is. And then do what you need to do for you. Or the situation and whatever that is. Isaiah 43:19 says, for I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. Hey, the people, why is God separating the wheat from the tare right now? Because he's doing a new thing. He's doing a new thing. Don't you perceive it? Don't you know? He said he'll make a pathway. He's making that pathway for you through the wilderness. We walking through the wilderness, kingdom people, right into the promised land. Which goes back to what I said in the video. Your real is where? Your real is where? It's rare. The reason why God is revealing these things to you is to separate you from them, because going through your wilderness, you done went through your wilderness experience, and you're going into the promised land. Your wilderness involved them trying to play all these monkey games. Think about it. The children of Israel, when they were in the wilderness, what was they doing? Complaining, whining. That was them ones playing games. Kind of. And what did the elders do? Died right outside of the promised land. Their ascendants, the younger group, what did they do? Walked right over them dead corpse and walked into the promised land. Because, kingdom people, listen, them complaining, dropping all these seeds of doubt, because that was what they was doing. Them young folks was like, I don't know what they talking about or what they on. We going into this promised land. God said what he said. So, and we here now. That's what I'm hearing. We here. God provided all the way. And that's what it is with you all, kingdom people. You all through your wilderness, they was trying to stop, block, trying to get you to see things. Just all kind of crazy. On your way to the promised land, they did all that. Where are you at right now? Walking into your promised land? You walking into your promised land. You like with your elders and whoever else. You like, whatever, I don't know what they talking about. I'm going into this promised land. I don't know what they thought or what they heard. But kingdom people, God is separating the wheat from the tare. I want to say the rare from the tare. Yeah, the rare from the tare. The wheat from the tare, kingdom people. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world. We know this one also well. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and the perfect will of God. Kingdom people, y'all already know. We transformers more than meets the eye. So we're being transformed. We're not conforming to this world. We've been transformed by the renewing of our mind, which is why they couldn't stop, block, And now, what's happening? God is separating the wheat from the tare. We're proving what is good, acceptable, and the perfect will of God. They didn't want us to get here. They didn't want us to do it. And because of that, the wheat is being separated from the tare. There's a separation happening, kingdom people. And you are being moved forth into God is gathering you, wheat, kingdom people, into the barn. Yeah, you're being separated. You're being called out. And God is causing you to shine forth in his kingdom, to build his kingdom. And when I was riding this morning, I was driving to drop my daughter off at her class this morning, and what was on my spirit is, I forgot what I was going to say. What was on my spirit is how I started thinking about that drive. I distracted myself. That was a nice drive. But anyhow, he was showing me how, he's separating the wheat from the tare. He's using you to shine forth, to establish his kingdom. But a lot of what's happening, kingdom people, is that, yeah, God is going to bless you. God is preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. He's walking you to your promised land. All that. But even all that includes him using you to help set other people free, to help other people heal, to bring other people into his kingdom and help develop them and help them to be who God called them to be. Them ones, kingdom people, think about it. That's not what they do. They're too busy trying to tear people down. You're too busy trying to build people up. They may try to play like they doing that, but again, on the sideline, you know what I'm saying? Them sad, passive aggressive behaviors trying to tear you down. You know what I'm saying? But you're not supposed to see it. It's called gaslighting. I was thinking about this morning. It's so funny. I was just seeing little stuff, and I said, oh, them are narcissists. I just really realized how many people that God is showing are narcissists. Again, they just hide it. But when you really look and when you really see, you're like, oh. Anyway, God is separating the wheat from the tare. You are wheat. You're going to help produce other wheat, or help build other wheat, or help other wheat know that they wheat. And the tare, he said, he gonna burn them, whatever that means. And every time I say that, I hear hell. I ain't getting into that, kingdom people. I'm just saying what the scriptures say. Read Matthew 13:24-30. So anyway, kingdom people, I just came by to let you know God says he is separating the wheat from the tare. Okay? Okay. Kingdom people, I am going to let that rest right there. If you like this video and or if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Then click on that red subscribe button and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you. Then click on that bell right next to that red subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I upload a new video. Something like this for Kingdom people. Also, if you're interested in any of the services that I presently offer, if you would like to purchase merch from my merch store, if you would like to sow a seed into my ministry, support the channel, you can find all the information right down below in the description box. I also have a YouTube membership. You can check that out by clicking on the join button right down below as well. And so, yeah, Kingdom people, we are history makers. We are real changers. We are dream successors. We are wealth generators. We are manifestors. We are curse breakers. And we most definitely are transformers, more than meets the eye. Yeah, Kingdom people, we are. Kingdom people, I love you all so very much, and I really do appreciate you being here with me, spending this time. You know I don't want to leave you, Kingdom people, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my Kingdom people down. Now, Kingdom people, with that being said, much love, light, and peace, and many blessings to you all. Kingdom people, that is my time. Jesus girl, she's out. Peace.